Good morning, brothers and sisters in Jesus. I'm gonna record my personal testimony of Jesus delivering me from those thoughts, unaliving thoughts. I don't know if unaliving is still gonna be allowed. I'm pretty sure when Big Donald gets in the office, a lot of stuff's gonna be. We're gonna be able to record stuff, and we have free speech, and nothing will be canceled. I don't think so. I don't think anything will be canceled anymore. Anyway, it all started. My life started as a kid. I would my family wanted me to go to church, and I didn't want to go. I never liked going. I didn't feel comfortable in there. I would go in and I would see. First, I felt uncomfortable for some reason, but I would see those pictures of like Jesus and the apostles or the disciples, and especially like Jesus. You know, he would be holding the black sheep over his neck back here, like that, with two hands. And I would see the way they would dress back then. It's kind of silly because like it's as a kid that looks pretty boring. I didn't like the way they dressed, the sandals and the robes or whatever. I don't know what they called those. The clothes back then. They looked very unstylish. They didn't have no style. Maybe like if the churches would put like Jesus and the disciples using high tops or like Nikes, that would work better on me. But yeah, I never liked going. I would feel uncomfortable. I'd go to Mexico and Reynosa, Tamaulipas, and with my grandma, she would make me go. She would say, if you don't go, well, I'm not gonna let you play. And I used to like playing in her backyard. We used to pop fireworks and destroy G.I. Joe characters and Masters of those He-Man, Masters of the Universe toys, and especially when it was a firework, when we could get the fireworks on New Year's, we would blow up the toys, the older toys, and so I would go to church, and I just didn't feel comfortable. But the stories like the David and Goliath story, that would pique my interest. I like those, but I didn't fit in, and to this day I really don't fit in the church environment. The church right now. It's I'll explain that later. Anyway, I would go, and I just didn't like it. So as growing up, every time somebody invited me to go to church, I didn't want to go. I didn't feel comfortable. If I would go, I would just go and sit in the pews and daydream. I wouldn't even pay attention to that. So fast forward to when I was 17 years old. I was a senior in high school, and I was coming to high school. I'm right in front of the high school right now. Let me show you. I played football at this stadium right here. They were on the city of Rattlers, and the high school was behind the stadium. Anyway, when I was a senior around November 1994, like right in the middle of November 94, I started feeling very anxious. I had a stress and anxiety because I was a very shy student. I was a very shy person. I never got a job here, couldn't work. It was like social anxiety. I just couldn't do anything. But so in mid-November, I went through a trial, 7-month trial, where it felt like the devil was accusing, the way it says in the book of Revelation, that he would accuse you. He accused the brethren day and night before the Lord to try to take me out. Through unaliving myself. Anyway, I went. I wouldn't eat. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. If I ate anything, it was like crackers, saltine crackers, something light, because I would puke it up or I would get diarrhea or something. Like I couldn't. I was real scared. I was getting attacked by accusations. Like he would accuse me of those things of when I was a kid. And I did. Like in your head, you'd hear like the thoughts. You get those thoughts where you're gonna die. But eventually, that's how I won the fight, by the blood of the Lamb and the word of my testimony. Sorry, I had to clear my iPhone. It had too much. It didn't have enough storage to make more videos, so I had to stop yesterday. Continuing today. Anyway, yeah, I was having those accusations during the 7 month period, where he would accuse me of everything, everything. He would say that I was gay, like I had those thoughts like, you're gay. You never had a girlfriend. Are you sure you're not gonna be saved? You're gay. And he threw a bunch of guilt on me because like I used to be very very tough with my brother, my younger brother. He was 5 years young. He is young, 5 years younger than me. I used to be real mean to him to toughen him up for life. I wouldn't let him play with the other kids, my friends. He was younger than us, so I wouldn't let him hang out. I would be mean to him, and that was another accusation that I was mean. Another accusation was he would just point out stuff like, look at those people, look at those other people, people in the church, any church, people who were nice people, good people. They would, those happy people that you see every day. They have no, I don't know, they don't believe in God or anything. They just like go about their lives being nice to people. I don't know how to explain. But he would accuse me. He would say, look at those people. Those are the people that are going to heaven. You're not going to go to heaven. You're going to hell. You're going to die and you're going to go to hell. And there's no chance for you there's no chance for happiness for you in this life or in heaven. You just don't fit in, man. You don't fit in. Those are the thoughts in my head. But if you look at in the book of Revelation, when Jesus talks about the people that are lukewarm, the ones that he hate, well, not hates, but, or you could say hate, who cares? I don't know, doesn't matter. The ones that he's gonna vomit out of his mouth. I don't see the difference between that and hate. But anyway, it was a lie. He was telling me that those people are the ones that deserve to go to heaven. Even the ones that didn't even believe in God don't go to church or anything. I'm telling you guys, it's hard being a YouTube influencer. You got to do all these edits and record and cut and upload and all this stuff. So I'm gonna try to get this testimony out in as quickly as I can. And what was I? Yeah, I was getting these thoughts about getting these thoughts in my head about people that, if you read the Bible, you see Jesus' words and the message that the apostles preached. Not everybody goes to heaven. Only the born again believers. And so yeah, I was getting those thoughts in my head. And another thing that would happen to me during the high school, like all 3 years, 4 years of high school, when I was 14, a freshman, till my senior year, I would sit down with my friends and classmates at a table for lunch. That's an example. And I would get severe anxiety. I would begin to perspire, and I felt really uncomfortable. And sometimes I would start sweating, and I would just walk out. Like I would get up and walk out and get some air. And I was like, what happened there? I didn't know what was going on. It was just like 1990. Talk about 1990 to 94. So there was no education on social anxiety or medication or anything. But yeah, so like I would sweat, I would perspire. Just remember that later on, because that's one of the things that the sweating, the heat, it made me think that I was. You'll see the verse on in Isaiah 42. I'll take a screenshot and find the second video. But yeah, I had those thoughts. It was like day and night, man. I was like, you're gonna die, you're gonna go to hell. So basically, I was just trying to stay alive so that I wouldn't go to hell. Makes no sense, but and yeah, I felt bad for my mom. Like my mom and my brother, all my family. I was like, come on, man. He was like, yeah, they're never gonna see you again. You're gonna commit suicide, and you're gonna be another statistic. So, and I would eat very little. I would eat like saltine crackers and light stuff just to keep going. I even ran track. I was running track during that time. Played football. Finished the season with like 2 weeks left to go. So when I started the season, I weighed about 190 pounds, and I remember I weighed myself towards the end of the season, and I was weighing about 167 pounds. So I was losing weight, especially those last 2 weeks. I lost a lot of weight because of the worry and thinking, and I ran track. I remember I tripped over a hurdle and I got knocked out. I didn't get knocked out, but I hit my head and got a concussion. And but like it was funny because it didn't hurt. I didn't care. They said, "Are you okay?" I just got up and I was like, "Yeah," just like a little confused. But so like when you're in that mental state, it kind of helps. If you want to be a Christian and you want to get persecuted and punished and beaten and all that stuff, it this testimony helps me let you know that I'm built. I don't look forward to getting beat up and whatever, but if it has to happen, it'll happen. Anyway, so I remember when I opened the Bible because like that was my last resort. I wanted to see if there was because like I saw. I remember like some Jehovah's Witnesses. I was like watching TV, all depressed there, all scared. One Saturday morning, and my mom was gone, and they stopped by with some literature, the little books. Although I know they're a cult, right? Like they're not. It's not biblical. They have their own. It's like if you know, you know. Anyway, yeah, I saw they dropped off a booklet, and I was reading a little booklet where it says that even David, who was a king in Israel, and killed Goliath and brave warrior and all this stuff. I I saw where even he had times when he got depressed, especially when he was being hunted down by Saul, and so I was like, what? In my mind, I was like, what? King David went through that? So I started thinking, huh. I thought those people were like superheroes, like they never suffered. In my mind, I didn't really read the Bible, didn't listen at church either. And so I saw that was one. So I got the Bible. I started reading, and then I would see these passages where Jesus was talking about hell. You know, if you die and you don't believe in Him, you're gonna go to hell. So I would open the Bible and I would read a verse where He's talking about hell, and I would get scared and I would start to perspire and I would just close it. I was too scared. I was like, I would keep on. I would pace up and down almost all night. Like after that, I would be pacing up and down the house. My mom was asleep, my brother was asleep, but I would pass. I would be pacing. So anyway, I finally I started reading his words and I started believing more and more, and I started believing that he could deliver me. So it was one day in May of '94 where I was reading it, and like this spirit came over me. I guess it was the Holy Spirit, powerful Spirit of God, and like I just felt like the depression began to leave. Like it felt like I was getting free. Like like in the Matrix where what's his name, Keanu Reeves gets some blood from the Matrix, and all those uh, tubes get pop off of him, and he's free. yeah, I just felt like my soul could breathe finally. So I felt like super pumped up, super excited. I was like born again. I didn't speak in tongues, and it's even in the Bible. Like to this day, I don't speak in tongues. I've tried before, but I'm not gonna fake. I'm not gonna fake it. Anyway, I but I felt free. I remember I would tell my testimony to my friends. Like I started telling certain friends, you know how like the Holy Spirit guides you, and it shows you who to talk to. So you would, like, I would tell like certain people, like, and every time I remember some, not all the time, but most of the time I would see clouds forming up in the sky, and it would rain. When I would give my testimony about Jesus, set me free from those thoughts, and I felt like a new person. It would start to rain, like it rained during that time. I remember one time I was telling my cousin Danny, and I forgot who the third person was. I think his name was I think it was Cruz Saldana, a classmate of mine. And I don't know if they noticed, but I would notice like whenever I'd be telling them about Jesus, it would start to rain, and I noticed it was raining. I would go more, and you'd see rain get a little bit harder, and then I was like more, and it got harder, and then more, and it got harder, and I was like wow. And I don't know if my cousin, I don't know if he remembers. This was like 30 years ago, so I don't know if he remembers, but I remember that would happen. Little things like that would happen, like little supernatural things that you would begin to see and hear. But I got free, and that lasted for about 7 or 8 months, because that's when I started to read other things in the Bible where I started to believe I was a messenger sent to prepare the way for the second coming of Christ. I'll put that in the second part of the testimony. God bless you. Oh yeah, this is where you notice where it says here, therefore he has poured on him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle. It has set him on fire all around, yet he did not know. And it burned him, yet he did not take it to heart. This is when I thought when I was perspiring at the table and certain public places. When I was looking at this scripture after I was born again, I thought that was one of the main codes or keys where God was saying that I was his supernatural messenger sent to prepare the second coming, which it was a deception. And I was a very shy kid, so it says here that I had held my peace a long time. I have been still and restrained myself, and yeah, I used to scream. I would get pumped up and preach to my friends, and see, now I will cry like a woman in labor. I will pant and gasp at once. I'll continue with part 2 as soon as I get a chance. But I feel that the Lord wants me to get this out as soon as possible, so I'll get it try by the end of the week, hopefully. It's a lot of stuff.